Hey guys. All right. So, I just finished a painting. I'll actually show you guys. It's right over
I'm never going there after.
on the wall underneath the purple mountain painting. It's the moon painting. It's hanging up. I just finished that today. So, and I put my other paintings on the back of the couch because they were falling in places they shouldn't in the bedroom. So, alright, so I decided to just go ahead and do a video. This is delicious fall recipes and food preservation tips from Melissa K. Norris. So let's go. Some excerpts from Everything Worth Preserving. Hang on, guys. I gotta do something real quick. Sorry, I had to turn my Bluetooth on. Okay. Fall may be the best time for food preservation tips and recipes.
Teddy and I just broke up.
And food preservation is something that I am so passionate about that I wrote a whole book about it. The book is called Everything Worth Preserving. And it has been a wonderful, challenging labor of love. From paper, supply chain shortages, to multiple rounds of editing and sorting out thousands of additional details, I have learned so much and I am so proud to hold this book in my hands. Root celery tips for success. Make sure to check routinely for any soft spots or rot. During storage, ensure garlic, onions, potato, and sweet potatoes have adequate airflow and are exposed to light. I hang up my braids of onions and garlic and store potatoes in mesh bags in our pantry closet. Any containers used to hold potatoes or onions should be breathable. Cardboard boxes or paper bags also work well. If using plastic containers, make sure they're not sealed and have a way to breathe or vent. There is much debate if onions and apples should be stored near potatoes. Many studies show the ethylene gas produced by apples helps to prevent sprouting of potatoes. I know, I've read the opposite advice for years too. Onions should not be stored near potatoes due to moisture. But if your potatoes start to sprout, putting an apple in with them can prevent or stop further sprouting. Make sure you check the apple and replace it if it starts to go bad. Canning pears. 1. Wash, peel, core, and slice. Pre-treat if desired. 2. Syrup pack. Heat pears in boiling 40% syrup for 1 to 2 minutes. 3. Drain and cool. Pack pears in cold 40% syrup. Potatoes. Potatoes, both sweet and regular, require curing. To help toughen the skin, stop watering a few weeks before harvest. Don't wash, but brush off dirt before curing. If you must wash your potatoes, make sure they dry thoroughly before laying them out to cure. All varieties of potatoes, except sweet potatoes, are best cured at 45 to 60 degrees, with 85 to 95% humidity for 2 weeks. You'll notice the small nicks and cuts will harden up. Potatoes should be stored in the dark or they'll turn green due to chlorophyll, which could mean the presence of solanine, a toxic alkaloid, in large amounts. At 40 to 45 degrees with 90% humidity, they'll shrivel up in drier conditions and sprout in warmer conditions. We tried storing ours in our unheated camper trailer, but the fluctuating temperatures and lower humidity resulted in shriveled and sprouted potatoes after 3 months, and several turned bad. My favorite way to store potatoes is by leaving them in the ground. The key is making sure they're deep enough that they don't freeze. I put 6 inches of straw on top. We've had temperatures down to 5 degrees with no ill effects on the potatoes. Snow is insulating but makes it difficult to harvest. They store beautifully until soil temperatures reach 60 degrees consistently, then they'll begin to sprout. Ours keep from summer clear through mid-April. Long-term potato storage varieties are German butterball, fingerling, russet, and Russian blue. Alright, and then they give some charts. I'm not going to read through the charts, but one is a pressure canning chart that has sweet potatoes, white potatoes, pumpkin, root vegetables, sauerkraut, and winter squash. and then a dehydrating chart, and they list potatoes, spinach, winter squash, summer squash, and tomatoes. And then freezing, boiling, and blanching, sweet potatoes, summer squash, zucchini, winter squash, including pumpkin, tomatoes, and turnips. Vegetables that must be fully cooked before freezing, beets, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and winter squash. Then there's a root cellaring chart, and potatoes, pumpkin, acorn squash, winter squash, and sweet potatoes is on that chart. And then I'll go ahead and just add this recipe into it. This is for low sugar apple pie jam.
Brayden's really good at.
And there's the recipe for that. Whew, sorry. Ingredients: 8 cups of peeled, chopped, and cored apples. 3/4 cup of dried cranberries, which is optional. I would use the cranberries. 8 tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. Freshly squeezed is actually best. 1 cup of water. Make sure it's not tap water. You do not want you don't want the chemicals and stuff in it. So make sure it is good filtered water. 4 teaspoons of calcium water. Okay, this is
Yeah. Your car, I thought some turned out to be just gas. Sorry, it's over. Too.
Oh well, okay.
You're so lucky.
4 teaspoons of powdered pectin. This is okay. Calcium water comes with Pomona's pectin. For a no sugar version, follow the instructions with the pectin box. Okay, that's why that was done right. All right, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 cups of sugar. I would use raw cane sugar. All right, instructions. Prepare jars in water bath canner. Peel, core, and chop the apples. Place the apples in a big stainless steel pot and add lemon juice and water. Bring to a boil and cook for 10 minutes until the apples are soft. Meanwhile, mix sugar, spices, and powdered pectin together and set aside. Add the calcium water, comes in the Pomona pectin, and activates the pectin to the apples. Okay, I gotcha. So it's the calcium water that comes with the Pomona pectin. Boil for 1 minute. 1 more minute. Okay, so after you mix the sugar, spices, and powdered pectin together, set that aside, add the calcium water, which comes with the Pomona pectin and activates the pectin to the apples. Boil that for 1 more minute. Add the sugar mixture and return to a boil, stirring constantly. You don't want burnt sugar for 2 minutes. And you'll see and feel the mixture thicken up. Remove from heat. Pour into clean canning jars to 1/4 inch headspace. Remove air bubbles and add more jam if needed to meet the required headspace. Place in a water bath canner, making sure the water level is 1 inch above the surface of the jars, and process for 10 minutes. Don't start the timer until the water is at full boil. Turn off the heat and remove the canner lid. Wait 5 minutes and then remove the jars to a towel-covered counter. Let cool, checking seals after 24 hours. Remove bands, wipe down the surface of the jars, and store in the pantry. You can use 3/4 cup of finely chopped dried cranberries, add them with the calcium water and spices. And altitude adjustments, if you're 1,001 to 3,000 feet above sea level, increase by 5 minutes processing time. 3,001 to 6,000 feet above sea level, increase processing time by 10 minutes. If above 6,001 feet above sea level, increase 15 minutes processing time. Okay, my goodness, I'm tired, you guys. That was it for delicious recipes, fall recipes, and food preservation tips. And that was by Melissa K. Norris. And I will go ahead and get this up there, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys.